Fido 2 Simplified, enabling secure passwordless logins. I'm Hewie Poplock. Fido 2 is a new, simpler way to securely log into websites and devices without having to remember complicated passwords. I remember Fido referring to the early days of dial-up bulletin board systems, BBSs, where FidoNet was a popular network that allowed different independent BBS systems to exchange messages. Fido 2 has nothing to do with that. Fido 2 stands for Fast Identity Online. This refers to the Fido Alliance, which is the industry consortium that develops the Fido standards. The 2 in Fido 2 simply refers to it being the second generation of Fido standards. The first version was Fido U2F. So Fido 2 is the name representing the latest standards and specifications from the Fido Alliance around passwordless logins and multi-factor authentication. What's a password? Here's a quick overview of how passwords work on websites. Registration. When you register for an account on a website, it will prompt you to create a username and password. This password should be unique and not used on any other website. Hashing. The website does not actually store your password. Instead, it puts the password through a cryptographic hashing algorithm, which creates a long randomized string of characters called a hash. This hash is stored in the website's database. Login. When you attempt to log in later, you enter your username and password again. The website passes your entered password into the same hashing algorithm to create a hash. It then compares the hash to the stored hash in the database. Matching. If the newly generated hash exactly matches the stored hash, the passwords are equal and login is successful. If they don't match, the password is incorrect and access is denied. Encryption. Reputable websites will also encrypt the stored password hash through an encryption algorithm. This adds an extra layer of protection even if the password database is somehow accessed. So websites never actually store passwords. They store hashes of passwords, which allows verification during the login attempts without revealing the actual password text in the database. This is done primarily for security to prevent password theft. Two-factor authentication, or 2FA, is a security mechanism that requires users to provide two different authentication factors to verify their identity when logging into an account or service. Two factors typically involve knowledge, something the user knows, such as a password or a PIN code. Possession, something the user has, such as a mobile device, a security token, or authentication app that generates one-time codes or push notifications. In a 2FA system, a user enters their standard login credentials like a username and password. They are then prompted for a second factor, a one-time code generated by their authentication app or hardware token. Only after providing both factors is access granted. If a password is stolen in a data breach, it is useless to an attacker without also gaining possession of the user's second authentication factor. This greatly minimizes the risk of unauthorized account access, even if the first factor gets compromised in some way. This added layer of security provides robust protection against hacking, phishing, and account takeover attempts that rely on stolen or guessed passwords alone. This is why services like banks, email providers, and social media platforms strongly encourage users to enable two-factor authentication. It has become an essential component for securing online accounts and identities. MFA typically stands for multi-factor authentication. It is an authentication method that requires the user to provide two or more verification factors to gain access to a website, application, or service. The most common types of factors used in MFA are knowledge factors, something the user knows, like a password or a PIN code. Possession factors, something the user has, like a security key or a mobile device. Inherence factors, something the user is, like a fingerprint or other biometric data. In a typical MFA setup, the user would need to provide a password, knowledge factor, and then input a code from an authentication app on their phone, possession factor. This makes it much harder for unauthorized people to access the user's account even if they learn or steal the password. Requiring multiple factors for authentication better secures online accounts and systems against threats like phishing attacks, password guessing, and other forms of account takeover fraud. That's why many online services now encourage or require users to enable MFA. I recently went to a cybersecurity trade show, and the big buzz was being Fido 2 compliant. What is Fido 2? It's a new way of signing in to websites and services without using passwords. You may be wondering, why do we need a new way of signing in? What's wrong with passwords? Well, passwords have many problems. They can be easily forgotten, stolen, or hacked. You may have experienced the frustration of forgetting your password or having to change it frequently. You may have also heard of phishing, which is a type of online attack where someone tries to trick you into revealing your password by sending you a fake email or website. Once they have your password, they can access your online accounts, devices, and files and cause a lot of damage. Fido 2 is a solution to these problems. Fido 2 is an open standard, which means it is a set of rules and guidelines that anyone can use and follow. Fido 2 makes signing in more secure and convenient by using a device, such as a security key or a smartphone, to prove your identity to the website or service. You need only to touch the device or scan your face or fingerprint to log in. This way, you don't have to remember or type any passwords, and you're protected from phishing and other online attacks. Let me show you how Fido 2 works with a simple example. Suppose you want to log into your Microsoft account, which you use to access your email, photos, documents, and other services. To use FIDO2, you need to have a device that supports FIDO2, such as a security key or a Windows Hello device. A security key is a small device that you can plug into your computer or connect wirelessly. A Windows Hello device is a device that has a camera or fingerprint reader that can recognize your face or fingerprint. You can buy these devices online or in stores, and they are not very expensive. To set up FIDO2, you need to register your device with your Microsoft account. This is a one-time process that you can do by following the instructions on the screen. When you register your device generates a pair of keys, which are long, random numbers that are mathematically related. One key is public and the other is private. The public key is encrypted and shared with Microsoft, but the private key stays on your device and is never revealed. These keys are unique to your device and your account, and they are used to verify your identity. After you register your device, you can use it to log into your Microsoft account. When you visit the Microsoft website, you will see a sign-in button that says Sign in with a security key or Windows Hello. You can click on that button and then you will be asked to use your device to sign in. Depending on your device, you may need to plug it in, touch it, or look at it. Your device will then use the private key to sign in a request from Microsoft and send it back. Microsoft will then use the public key to check the request and confirm that it's really you. If everything matches, you'll be logged in to your account. You don't need to enter your username, password, or any other information. As you can see, FIDO2 is very easy to use and it has many advantages over passwords. FIDO2 is more secure because your keys are stored on your device and cannot be stolen or copied. FIDO2 is more convenient because you don't have to remember or type any passwords. FIDO2 is more private because your device does not share any personal information with the website or service. FIDO2 is also more universal because it works with many websites and services that support FIDO2, such as Google, Facebook, Twitter, and more. I hope that you now have a basic understanding of FIDO2 and how it can improve your online security and experience. MFA and FIDO2 work very well together to provide strong authentication and security. Here's a quick overview of how they complement each other. FIDO2 is an open authentication standard that uses public key cryptography instead of passwords. It introduced two main concepts. WebAuthn allows websites to register and authenticate users using external authenticator devices like USB security keys or a built-in platform authenticator on devices with a biometric sensor or PIN. CTAP, the client to authenticator protocol that allows the external authenticators to communicate with client devices via USB, NFC, or BLE. So FIDO2 eliminates the need for passwords by using authentication keys stored on hardware-backed authenticators. MFA, or multi-factor authentication, requires providing multiple proofs of identity to authenticate. FIDO2 authenticators essentially function as a second factor in an MFA setup by complementing the first factor, which is typically a password or PIN. Together, they allow credentials that are intrinsically tied to a device or user to be used for authentication, rather than knowledge factors like passwords that can be phished, stolen, or guessed. Enabling FIDO2 via methods like WebAuthn as a second factor takes MFA to the next level by providing passwordless, strong MFA with ease of use via external authenticators. It's secure, fast, and convenient for end users. FIDO2 gives services a standardized way to implement modern, passwordless MFA for their users. FIDO2 Simplified, enabling secure, passwordless logins.
I'm Chris Guld with Geeks on Tour, and I had some fun with photos the other day. I take this chair yoga class over Zoom, and I really like it. I want to have memories of this, and just a simple photo won't do. I set up my iPhone in the corner of the room and used my Apple Watch to snap a photo several times during the class. I made sure that it was on live photos so that I got motion along with it, and then I put it all together in this little movie using Google Photos highlight video feature. If you would like to make a similar kind of little movie, there's 3 things you would need to know. 1, how to use your Apple Watch as a shutter release for your iPhone, or how to use your voice for an Android. Number 2, how to take a live photo on an iPhone or motion photo on an Android. And number 3, how to put together all these motion photos into a little movie using the highlight video technique on Google Photos on the computer. I'm going to show you how.
Do you think your smartphone is smarter than you?
First, I'm going to put my iPhone in this little tripod and get it in position. Now, you might, if you don't have a tripod, maybe you can just find a place to lean it up against something that will be in the right position. Next, I'm going to look at my Apple Watch, go into the apps and find the camera remote. Camera remote. And now I am seeing what my phone's camera is seeing. Oops, now I didn't check to make sure that the camera is set to take live photos. So let's take a look at that. Here is the camera, and I just want it in photo, 1x, and no, this is the live photo indicator, that bullseye. I want it to make sure that it is on, and it is. So for every photo taken, it will also take 3 seconds of video. And notice that my watch will take a picture, but giving me 3 seconds. So I will tap it to take a picture. I have 3 seconds to say hello. And then I can tap 3 seconds again and and we'll see what those look like. Now, if you have a Samsung camera phone, then there isn't anything called live, but this little button right here is called motion. So motion off, motion on, and it does the same thing as the live on a iPhone. The other thing is, if you don't have a watch that can control it, you can issue verbal commands to your Samsung. In the camera, under settings and shooting methods, voice commands. Take pictures by saying these words. And I'll just want to prove it to you. So I am going to put it in a selfie mode, and I'll get in front of it and say, smile. And it took a picture. So you could do that to set up your phone away from you and then tell it to take a picture. Now, since I use Google Photos, I can show you the pictures that I just took with my watch and my iPhone by going to the computer. So here is the first photo, and as you can see, it is just a photo. But this little button here means show me the motion. Hello, 3 seconds to say hello, 3 seconds to... That's the first one, and then here was the second one. So here are all the live photos that I took during my chair yoga class the other day. I can show you, it looks just like a picture, but there is 3 seconds of motion if I just click this little play button. And same thing with all of these. To make my little movie, all I have to do is select these photos, click the plus, and choose Highlight Video. Now this requires you to do it on the computer. The phone doesn't pick up the motion like this. I don't want it to be vertical. I want it to be horizontal. So I click this aspect ratio button, make it landscape. I do want some music. I'll go to reflective, and how about Kate's Waltz? And that's it. I can play my new little movie. Save, and you're done. Was that fun or what? Now it does take a few minutes to render. You have to be patient. If you make the highlight video using your phone, you won't get the motion in the motion photos, but maybe what you want is just a slideshow. So here are some pictures from our Hawaii trip. I'm on my Samsung. If I select several of these, I don't think I said Google Photos anywhere. All right.
I'll put some branding on it.
Yeah, one more. There. And you tap plus and highlight video. Once again, I want to make sure that it's in landscape mode because that's how most of my photos are. And I want to add some music, the theme music. And I like the upbeat. And there's one down here, this How About It? I like that. And save. And it just plays a slideshow. Save, and it takes a few minutes to process. It will give you a notification when it's done. Back to the computer where you can play these, and a highlight video will have this little film strip kind of an icon on it. I will play it. And that's just a way to make a great little slideshow of travel photos. Well, I hope you learned something, and I hope you have some fun with your photos. So really the main point there was the Google Photos feature called Highlight Videos. And if you do it on the computer, you'll get the motion in your live photos as part of the video. It's so cool.
Thanks, Chris. Great. And Bob is going to talk some more about cybercrime and how AI is protecting us. So go ahead, Bob.
Imagine a monstrous creature with multiple heads, each representing a different cyber threat. This Hydra, constantly shifting and evolving, attacks our digital world through malware, phishing scams, and other methods. Traditional defenses struggle to keep up, but a new warrior emerges: artificial intelligence. It's not a magic shield, but it's a powerful weapon in the fight for cybersecurity. The Hydra's bite: understanding cyber threats. Let's break down the different heads of this digital beast. Malware. Think malicious software like viruses, worms, and ransomware. They infiltrate systems, steal data, corrupt files, or hold information hostage. Imagine them like venomous fangs injecting poison into your computer. Phishing. Deceptive emails, messages, or websites lure victims into revealing sensitive information or downloading malware. Picture them as slimy tongues dripping with lies, tricking you into giving up your digital valuables. Man-in-the-middle attacks. Hackers become the middleman in your online communication, eavesdropping or manipulating data. Imagine them as sneaky thieves, listening in on your phone calls and changing your messages. Zero-day attacks. These are like surprise attacks, exploiting unknown vulnerabilities before anyone detects them. Think of them as hidden claws, striking unexpectedly and causing major damage. Social engineering. This involves manipulating human emotions and trust to compromise security. Imagine a charming con artist convincing you to unlock your digital vault. AI, the cyber guardian angel. How does AI fight this multi-headed monster? By leveraging its unique superpowers. Pattern recognition. AI can analyze vast amount of data, like a detective examining millions of clues. It detects subtle patterns, indicating suspicious activity much faster than any human could. Anomaly detection. AI learns what normal behavior looks like for users, systems, and networks. Any deviation gets flagged as a potential threat, like spotting a stranger lurking in your house. Predictive analytics. AI analyzes past attacks and threat intelligence to predict future vulnerabilities, like a fortune teller forecasting potential dangers. Automated response. Imagine having a security robot that automatically blocks suspicious traffic or quarantines infected devices, saving you valuable time. AI can do just that. Defeating each head with AI's arsenal. Now let's see how AI tackles specific threats. Malware. AI examines files and network traffic, identifying malware based on known patterns and suspicious behavior. It's like having a security scanner with superhuman vision that detects even the tiniest digital blemish. Phishing. AI analyzes email content, sender information, and website characteristics. It can spot subtle inconsistencies and red flags, acting like a lie detector for the digital world. Man-in-the-middle attacks. AI monitors network traffic for unusual patterns and inconsistencies, like a traffic cop noticing suspicious detours. Zero-day attacks. AI analyzes system behavior for anomalies that might signal an unknown vulnerability, acting like an early warning system for hidden dangers. Social engineering. AI can analyze social media activity and communication patterns to detect suspicious behavior that might indicate someone impersonating a legitimate user, like spotting a fake friend request from a stranger. The battle rages on, the future of AI and cybersecurity. AI is not a magic shield. Hackers can adapt and develop new techniques to exploit its vulnerabilities. It's like an ongoing arms race, but AI gives us a fighting chance. As it continues to evolve, its abilities in areas like understanding natural language and recognizing images will further enhance its ability to detect and thwart cyber attacks. Imagine a future where AI acts as a personalized cybersecurity guardian, constantly learning and adapting to protect you from ever-evolving threats. It would be like having a wise and vigilant friend watching over your digital life, alerting you to dangers and taking action when needed. The battle against cybercrime is a continuous one, but AI offers a beacon of hope. By understanding the diverse threats and leveraging the power of AI, we can build a more secure digital future, one bite at a time. Remember, while AI is a powerful tool, it's crucial to practice safe online habits, like using a reputable antivirus, strong passwords, and being cautious about suspicious links and emails. Stay safe, stay secure, and remember that together we can create a more secure digital world for everyone.